Welcome to Smoke Signals, everyone. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with head football coach and athletic director Wayne Coleman. Coach, Mama said there'd be days like this, and that was a tough night in Marshall last week. Obviously, the district leader team, very, very talented, very physical. It poured down rain the whole game. It started about 7:15 before kickoff, and it just never let up, and it was kind of indicative about how the night kind of went for your football team. However, the score really doesn't indicate how well I think your defense played.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Our defensive kids battled all night long. We had terrible field position all night. We couldn't get the field flipped, so we were playing offensively with our backs up against the end zone all night, and our defense continually went out there and battled and kept us in the game for a long time.
Yeah, this is a high-powered Marshall offense, scored a lot of points, and of course you gave up some points on special teams, and that was really, like I said, the defense played well because the score doesn't reflect how well they played, particularly, as you said, with poor field position, because the offense just never could really get in sync. I mean, things just weren't. Of course, the weather has a lot to do with it, but it affects both teams.
Yeah, well, they've got a great defensive front up there that makes it hard to run the ball, and then when you factor in the heavy rains that takes away mostly the passing game, became a good formula for them defensively to shut us down.
Coach, as you go in these last three district ball games, I know that this is the point of the season where it's money time. I mean, you just take them one at a time. You still control your own destiny.
Yeah, that's what you got to emphasize to the kids, that you knew going into district play that it was going to take 4 wins to qualify for the playoffs, and we've got 1, and we've got 3 games left. So we're still alive, and we're in control of everything.
Well, Hallsville is a team that, you know, they started the season so well, and then they started having injuries. They got nicked here and nicked there, and boy, this is a team that is dangerous. I mean, they may be 0-4 in district, but they lost a heartbreaker to Mount Pleasant last week.
They did, triple overtime loss. Looked like they had the game won a couple of different times. Got a few tough breaks on. It looked like they recovered a fumble, and which might have won the game for them. So they're coming off a tough loss, and they're going to be, you know, we got to be prepared for a desperate team.
And it's a team with talent. You know, they've got the Walker kid, I think that's his name, back at quarterback, and he's a great athlete. And last year you saw him in Hallsville, and he gave you some trouble, and he's a guy that can make things go for their offense. He's
a very athletic quarterback, runs the ball really well. They've got 19, the Driggers kid, that is one of the best athletes in the district. He does everything for them, plays every snap on offense, defense. He's the kicker, he's the punter. Just one of the best players we'll play against this year.
So they spread. What else do they do offensively?
They like to run the buck sweep game, pull in their guards, run behind the guards. Offensive line's really good. They've lost a Division I offensive lineman to a knee injury, so they're having to deal with that. But they're going to try to run the football and keep the football away from us.
And speaking of nicked up, your team, and this is really everybody's getting nicked up this time of year, and you'll have some kids back this week and last week that you didn't have, and I know that's got to feel good to know that you got some of your power coming back.
It does. We've got Deshaun's coming back. He's looking good in practice this week, and Aaron Richardson is still limping a little bit on that ankle. Got some kids banged up last Friday night, so I mean everybody's banged up this time of year. So you just got to go to war and put your guys on the field and battle. Defensively,
what are they gonna show you?
They're 4-2-5 most of the time, which is very similar to White House and Lindale. So we're used to playing against it. We've got to find ways to put points on the board against it, though. We struggled against White House in this scheme, so we've got to be creative this week.
Coach, I know you have to take these games now one at a time, and it's crunch time. And how do you keep your team from saying, well, you know, Hallsville's 0-4, and you know they're not that good, and maybe looking past, you know, then we got to go to Mount Pleasant. And I mean, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I think you don't focus on the opponent, focus on yourself and what we've got to get better at and execute, and really you got to always try to convince yourself that you're playing against yourself. Am I playing better than I was last week? And am I executing? And that's what we got to focus on in practice right now.
Where's your team emotionally? I mean, last week was, and I guess we don't have to talk about all the shenanigans that went on with the opponent, but it was a game that where you can really, you know, lose your composure. You can get upset. You can, and I saw your football team did a great job discipline-wise not getting involved in some of that stuff.
Yeah, we talk to them all the time about playing with intensity and not playing with emotion. Emotional people they have a hard time making good decisions. If you can play with intensity and make the right decisions, and I thought we did a good job of that. We didn't lose our cool. Kids played hard, and I thought they represented us very well.
So Hallsville, again, a team that's dangerous, a lot of talent. What are some of the keys to the game for you guys to get the win?
I think we have to shut down their run game. The quarterback in 19, they run the ball really well. We've got to stop that running game, and then offensively, we've got to get back and improve our passing game. The rain kind of took that away from us. Some of the plays we were making the week before in the air against Pine Tree were taken away from us because of the weather. We've got to find a way to not let that hinder us.
Jacksonville versus Hallsville. The game will be played at Bullard High School. The only game at Bullard. The other home games are obviously in Rose Stadium in Tyler. We'll be on the air at 6:45 on 94.3 Real Country for head coach Wayne Coleman. I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you at the ball game this Friday, and we'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.